Ruth chapter 1. We're going to be talking about a woman named Naomi, a woman named Ruth, a woman named Oprah, and her husband, Naomi's husband, and their 2 sons. Those are the main people we're going to be talking about. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled. We just finished 21 chapters of Judges. Somewhere in that place where the judges were the leaders, God had a camera in the house of the family of Naomi. She had a husband. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab. He, his wife, and his 2 sons. And the man's name was Elimelech, and his wife Naomi, and the 2 sons Molon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah, and they came into the country of Moab and continued there. So they left the promised land and they went to a people that God told them not to intermingle with. But the daddy said, that's where we're getting ready to go. And the daddy died when he got there. And she was left, Naomi was left with her 2 sons. And they got married. And one married a girl named Oprah, and the other one married a girl named Ruth. And they stayed there 10 years, about 10 years. And they dwelled there about 10 years. The 2 men, the 2 boys, the 2 husbands that were Naomi's sons, both died. And the women were left of her 2 sons and her husband. And the woman was left. Naomi was left without a husband and her 2 sons. That's heavy. That's a lot. Then she arose with her daughter-in-law that she might return from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people and given them bread. Now, I don't know how far the famine was, but she heard that they got some, he said the stuff done start growing again over there in Bethlehem. So wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughter-in-laws with her, and they went in the way to return unto the land of Judah. She said, I'm going back to the house, my house. And Naomi said to her 2 daughter-in-law, y'all go back to your mama house. The Lord deal kind with you as he has dealt with the dead, as you have dealt with the dead. May the Lord may you reap what you sowed. You were good to me and my sons, and may the Lord be good to you. May the Lord grant you that you find rest and that you find a husband. Each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voices and wept. As they said unto her, surely we will return with you. We're going with you, Naomi. And Naomi said, turn again, my daughters. Why will you go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb that they may be your husband? God can't have no more babies, so why y'all following behind me? Don't do it. Turn again, my daughters, go your way. Light till in darkness to go back to darkness. Naomi has some light in her, even though she had disconnected. But God knew that light that's in you, it didn't go out. And you tell them girls to go back to darkness. She don't feel good. And Naomi said, turn again, my daughters, why will you go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb that they may be your husbands? Girls, I can't have no more babies. Turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have a husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should have a husband also tonight, and should also get pregnant. Are you going to wait for them to get grown and pass by all the men who may be wanting you to be their wives? It grieves me much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord is going out against me. Oh, I feel so emotional right now, Naomi's. It's so emotional. And the girls lifted up their voice and wept again, all of them. And Oprah kissed her mother-in-law and says, all right, mother-in-law, I don't cry no more. I'm finna go back into the house. I'm going back home to my mom. But Ruth said, I ain't going nowhere. And she said, behold, your sister-in-law is gone back to her people and unto her lowercase G-O-D-S. Return you after your sister-in-law. You go follow up behind her. Naomi, Sister Naomi. Brenda, just keep reading. Okay. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave you. Don't put that pressure on me. Or to return from following after you. Don't tell me not to follow you. But where you go, I'm going. Where you live, I live. Your people shall be my people, and your God shall be my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. You and me, the only thing that separates us is death. Naomi looked at that girl, and the words that she had nothing else to say. Girls ain't going nowhere. And I mean it. So the two did what she said, went back to the land where they can get something to eat, Bethlehem, the land of bread. And it came to pass when they would come to Bethlehem that all the city was moved about them, all the city was moved about them and said, is that not Naomi? Naomi said, don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara, because the hand of the Lord is against me. He's dealt very bitterly with me. See, I went out full. I had a husband and 2 sons. And the Lord has brought me home again empty. You know, my husband was no broke man. Why then call ye me Naomi? Seeing the Lord has testified against me and the Almighty has afflicted me. So Naomi returned. And I can imagine if I was Ruth, I'd be looking at my mother-in-law and saying, I'm going to let you slide with that mother-in-law. Because when I came with you, I am not empty. I don't think broke, and I am not broke. I know how to do something. But I'm going to let you slide since you're kind of emotional. So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab. And they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest. That last verse, Naomi returned with Ruth, the Moabitess, which returned from the country of Moab. And they came to Bethlehem at the beginning of, it's time to get something to eat out the ground. That is Ruth chapter 1. So far, this is my 3rd stop in teaching this. Ruth noticed enough in her mother-in-law. Sis, I like something about you. And I like that God that you demonstrated to us over there in the land of do anything you want. I want that God. That girl, she might have been feeling one way, but that light was shining because this girl named Ruth. See you in chapter 2. Peace out.